What was that? What did I just listen to?
Can we do that? Can we do the beat start over? Because what was that? Tim?
Elton John.
Oh.
Can you feel the love?
Okay, now that I know what it is, do it again. Go ahead, do it again. Are we recording, by the way?
Yeah, we are. And Fusco's going to provide some sweet backgrounds.
Can you feel the love tonight? And now I hear it. I don't know the rest of the words, do you? Is this the next video coming out from the Keith Highlanders? You guys doing this?
Yeah, it's gonna be. Can you feel the love tonight? Spoiler alert: you will be sued. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my name is Josh. Welcome to the Chan Rand Podcast. This is an explicit show, so if you weren't aware, you are now currently aware. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to listen to something else. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fuck. Listeners can review the show on iTunes. You can send us emails and voicemails to be played on air. Like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or if you're Australian, Snapchat. Check out the Chan Rant store, chanrant.com. Soon to be the home of the one and only Here's a Spoon t-shirt for those of you that are regulars.
In the know.
In the know.
You still haven't got that fucking shirt done.
No, it's been a very long but short week. Last but not least, you can become a patron. You can support the show. And if you're watching this right now live, you are a patron, and we thank you for that. Head to patreon.com/Chanarant, $5 a month, $60 a year, $1.2 a week.
1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah, I don't know what it costs, but an hour's worth of bollocks. And you help keep the lights on here at the Chanarant Podcast. And invite and share with your friends.
Absolutely.
Dude,
that's
the Facebook page has been doing pretty well. So we haven't overtaken Viper's Dojo.
No, we've got a long way to go.
We got about 16,000 to go, but we're getting there.
But that son of a gun won't share our goddamn show.
He won't share the episodes. I didn't even use the SpongeBob as a cum rag as the title.
I know.
He still won't share. He still won't share.
He doesn't want the old ladies to listen to our show and then get turned off.
Like an old lady doesn't know what a cum rag is, dude. How do you think you get old?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, newest item in the Chanarant store, the Chanarant cum rag.
That's actually not a bad idea.
It's just an embroidered golf towel. not that different from Big Rab Show towel. Just
Do you think they would let us post it as that? Could we put that in the title? Yeah. That would be hysterical. The Chanarant cum rag. It's just a golf towel, but that would be hysterical.
It's the same thing. It's an embroidered golf towel, much like my
your Big Rab. That's my cum rag.
My beloved Big Rab Show. Oh, well, I would use this except for it's not a big enough towel.
Not for the amount of your spunk.
Worlds within worlds, Fusco.
But it's so soft. It's so cottony. Man, that thing is great.
It's a great towel. You should get yours at bigrabshow.comrag. I don't know, whatever it's called.
.comrag.
Hey, Fusco. Odd open.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah, Fusco.
You know what really sticks a Elton up my John?
No, I do not.
When you work for a good bagpiping company and you put together this cool ass video, like Brady Bunch video, and then some fucking cunt friend of yours comes out and like a week later and does it better.
Well, I think at this point in your career, you should be used to people doing things better than you.
This is true, especially the next boyfriend to whatever girlfriend I dated.
Yes, precisely.
Absolutely.
But so elaborate. And would you feel comfortable introducing our illustrious guest today?
Absolutely. So great, wonderful friend of the show, ex-band member of the band that shall not be named.
What do you mean ex? He would have been there.
He would have been there.
He would have been there if there was anywhere to go.
If there was anywhere to go, I'm sure he would have showed up. But our lovely friend Timmy H from all the way up in. Well, apparently not part of the United States anymore. Somewhere in Washington where there is no law.
Yeah, he lives in the Chaz zone.
Live from Chaz.
But Tim from Keith Highlanders, who's done probably one of the best Brady Bunch videos of a pipe band I've seen yet. He's about to release a new one.
Yeah,
that's why we had him on.
So I kind of want to go into this because it's not just pipe bands. It's like, it's like corporate brands. It's like local companies that are all like the latest trend in social content. Like for bands, it's one thing because you can do a video of everyone playing music. But like the trend I've seen in corporate content is like, hey, we're all meeting via Zoom, and here's a screenshot of our latest Zoom call where 3 of the employees were picking their nose or weren't paying attention, and that's content, baby. We nailed it. It's like, what the fuck? Nobody cares. Everyone's doing Zoom calls. It's not. You're not on the cutting edge of technology. The shit's been around for fucking 10 years. Like,
yeah, but this is different.
Well, with bands, it's different because it's not. And we'll get into this a little bit later in the show, but I would like to, because I don't know how Tim did this the first video, and the first video was amazing, but I have theories. So I want to get into a little detective session later on.
Hopefully this will be educational, but by the time we actually get to it, we'll be so drunk that it will become
like I want to do a little detective session because I think I know how he did it.
Oh, I know for sure I did it because I've done it myself.
Yeah, but I want to, so, you know, we'll make a little game out of it.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
We'll make a little game out of me trying to guess how they pulled this off.
Okay.
But before we get into that, we have some show notes, starting with the Patreon Happy Hour, which is tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow. You still got time to get in there, ladies and gentlemen. Join Patreon, and for a mere $5 a month, you can also join us for our, happy hour thing where we basically get drunk on Zoom and make fun of each other. So you still got time to get in. Tim, you're a patron, right?
Yep, I'll be there.
You're going to be there tomorrow? I've got 2 very special celebrity guests lined up. And I'm not going to say who.
Yeah.
2 wonderful celebrity guests. So come on in, and you'll get to virtually meet some very important people in the pipe band world.
Yeah, so the idea of the happy hour is like, we want to get the fans together, have a chat, hang out.
By the way, it won't be recorded, so you can
do
whatever you want.
It's not recorded. It's not going on the show. The only place that will be recorded is our brains for the first 30 minutes until we're hammered to remember.
We're blacked out, yeah.
And then, so the idea is going to be once a month for the patron happy hour, assuming that people like it and it works out. And then,
if it's you and me, then
that's just us going to the bar.
Yeah.
It's not any different than anything we normally do. But if it works out, we'll continue to bring in a special guest every now and then,
have a special guest as often as I can make it happen.
Yeah, I'm excited. It should be good fun.
Better than Tim.
We do have a new patron as well. 2 new patrons.
Lots of them. 3.
3 now?
Yeah.
Well, 1. 2.
Oh, I see. One of them's
are
the same. Sorry.
So we have one, and long time listener, person who's written in a lot, has decided to register himself as a patron as the beneficent ghost of Zach Lees.
Yeah, the ghost of Zach Lees now supports us. This is great.
So cheers. Anyone who didn't know Zach Lees, guy was an absolute fucking legend. And then we have a new person just today, Troy, yeah. Yeah, so that's good fun. Is that someone you were telling me earlier before the show that you had some dojo folks that were starting to listen to the show?
Oh yeah. No,
no thanks to Andrew Douglas.
Yeah, he doesn't share it, but
not sharing our episodes.
Just to be fair, this did not happen on Dojo time. This guy, we have a Dojo happy hour.
Do you have any idea how much more clickbaity it would have been if I titled that episode "SpongeBob is a cum rag"? But I didn't, out of respect for Andrew Douglas.
Really, respect?
Yeah.
What did you title it? Because I haven't even looked at it.
What do you call a lesbian dinosaur?
It's a little better. What's the punchline?
That was Glenn's joke, and it was a lickalotopus.
I don't remember that at all, but that's great.
Hey, you blacked out. Good joke. Happy Pride Month, everyone.
For the record, I'm glad we do these shows because I go back and listen, and I'm like, oh, that's what happened in my life for that hour.
Well, it's always interesting because, I feel like lately, especially because I've had nothing better to do, I've been doing the odd edit here and there, and it's always interesting when I come to a show and I actually know what happened last episode and you don't because I did the edit.
That's usually how I find out what happened is the edit.
So yeah, cheers to our new patrons. Hope to see you both at the happy hour.
Yeah, come on in, man.
It'll be good fun.
Or woman, whatever. We're all inclusive here.
I want to reorder some stuff here. So we recently appeared on a podcast
We did.
as guests.
We are podcast whores officially.
Officially, yeah. We were on the Scale Down podcast. The host of that is Brad Green of Seven Nations and just general bagpiping fame.
Yep.
And his lovely wife.
Soon to be wife.
Soon to be wife. Fuck it. Might as well.
Whatever.
Close.
It's all the same.
I count it. You gotta keep in mind I'm a heathen. Once you commit to getting married, you're fucking married. And a piece of paper doesn't make a difference. But yeah, it was interesting. I listened back to it and like after I listened to it, I was like, man, I can already tell they cut out a lot of shit.
Can you? I've only got like halfway through so far, so and I have very little recollection of what happened. Not because I was drinking, just because it was a blur, and I really I don't know.
So check it out. Check out the Scale Down podcast. You can listen to me and Andy not in Chanarant mode. Well, sort of Chanaranty, but
minor, very minor.
Hey, the thing that brings me joy is it was a good episode. Their podcast is mostly about like creative people and relationships. Our relationship being, that we've been creative partners for a very long time.
Right.
And I was just really, really, really satisfied to give Brad an impossible edit.
I heard he was really annoyed and stressed out, like for like 2 weeks trying to edit that nonsense together.
Like, as I remember, we did it weeks ago.
Yeah, it was.
I'm like, good luck editing this motherfucker. It's not as easy to drive the bus as everyone thinks. All right, you got to keep one hand on the wheel, one hand on your whiskey, baby arms,
and the third
baby
hand
arm
on your
holding
cock.
an apple on your gun.
Yep.
But
you need 3 hands for this shit.
But yeah, so check it out. Scale Down podcast. It's good fun. So the spoon shirt.
It's coming.
It's coming
Someday.
Yeah. Like, I don't...
Tim, are you aware of this idea, the spoon shirt idea?
I do, yeah.
What do you think? Is this a good idea?
What was it? Yeah, it's perfectly. It's right up your alley.
Yes.
It's right with your audience.
It's going to be, here's a spoon.
So Glenn asked that his face not be put on the shirt because he teaches children. He teaches children and he's worried.
But how will people know that it's Glenn and not just Doogie with glasses? Like...
No. We can't put any face. We can put Doogie on it. I guess.
All white guys with black hair and half a beard look the same. Especially in cartoon form.
Well, yeah, that's true. I think we just put a cartoon face that generally sort of replicates what Glenn kind of looks like.
Let's just swing for the fences.
And we'll get away with it?
Let's just swing for the fences and put Richard Parks on it. Like,
yeah, why not? He's a public figure. We can steal shit off the... I mean,
like,
really, what are they going to do about it?
Like, hey, if Piping Press can steal a picture of Andrew Shilliday and fucking Photoshop a mask on it and publish it. Why can't I cartoonize Richard Parks and say, here's a spoon so you can eat my ass on a t-shirt? Just because he didn't say it.
That's right. It's all listen, all this shit is loose. I mean, anyway.
Especially post spoon.
We make this stuff up as we go anyway. So yeah, I say go for it.
But yeah, no. So it'll just be the here's a spoon shirt. And then, people in the know.
Yeah, people will know who said it. I mean, where he stole it from and all that. But either way. So
Tim, tilt your camera down a little for fuck's sake. Just like now you're just a head at the bottom of the screen. But yeah, so
you guys are putting me to sleep here.
We don't even have Doogie on to do that for us.
Yeah. So wait,
did you guys hear him on the Big Rab show?
Oh yeah,
I did not.
He spent like half an hour trying to explain how a grace note is different from a flam.
Oh Jesus Christ! A half an hour.
That was the episode I listened to before we recorded with him.
Yes, he
because Rab was talking about his lessons with Shilliday and how he was using the drums to explain how bagpipes work, and he was saying grace notes are a little bit like a flam, and then Doogie went on and on.
That was the one where I listened to it. I listened to it on my way to and on my way back from my tuberculosis test I have to take for my EMT class, and being injected by a stranger with actual tuberculosis was more enjoyable than that interview.
I didn't hear it. Which one was it? What was it called?
It was the 178. I don't know. I
it didn't have his name in it.
I think it was called Original Title Redacted Big Rab Show Edition.
Like Andrew wouldn't even let him put his name on that. I'm sure they said nothing of any controversy.
So tell me about number 7 here, Sco.
Oh shit, 7. So finally, Eric Evenhouse got his goddamn shirt, and he can shut up about it. I sent it out last week. He got it.
Had he been whinging about?
I mean, to be fair, it's been like 9 months since I promised it to him, almost a year. And I finally
did he win the raffle, or was he just?
I just owed him.
He just bitched until we sent him a shirt.
No, I owed him a shirt.
Oh, okay.
For
the tune. Yeah, for the tune. Okay.
And I just didn't fucking want to mail it because let me tell you, going to the goddamn post office these days is a nightmare. Yeah. It sucks. That's why I hate going, and it's annoying. So anyway, I was like, all right, today is the day I get it done. And I got it done. And now I'm highly unmotivated to do anything else.
Yeah,
but anyway, he got a shirt. He took a picture. It's on his Facebook. Check him out. He looks like a creepy serial killer with a Chanarant shirt. And it's great.
Yeah, your average postal employee is, especially in the United States for our international listeners, is very much as enthusiastic and hardworking as your average tenor drummer. Which is to say, they just like
they look hot and that's it.
It's goats, dude. Like it's like we used to call people goats, and it was like, well, have you ever asked a goat to do something and they just stare at you? And that's what it's like going to the post office. That's what it's like talking to drummers. It's like, hey, guys, we're gonna march over there and then over there, and they just look at you. Need a physical or verbal affirmation that you fucking recorded what I said and it's in your brain and you know what I'm talking about right now.
They're still processing. Give them a moment.
It's like, just give me a fucking nod.
Very true. Yes. So anyway, Eric, thank you. And now, thank God, I can never hear about Eric's shirt. And I also sent out the raffle winner shirt from last couple weeks ago. And we'll do that next month.
I sent out the stickers. We got some, dude. We're killing it.
We're on top of things.
Killing
What's going
mail.
on?
Yeah.
Hey,
write in, become a patron, and you get free shit. Suck on that, Up to the Line podcast. Where's my sticker? Yeah, where's the fucking sticker, bro?
All those guys do is ask for shit.
I hope I get one.
Apparently, we're trying to raise money for their podcast.
It's bullshit.
So, are we raising money for their microphone now?
Oh God, no.
Did you see that?
Yeah, that was weird. I keep.
They're not in the same room anyway. So what is the microphone going to help?
The microphone's not going to help.
They need a decent internet
connection, which means they need to move out of the UK.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, good luck, guys. Yeah. So anyway.
So Scope.
Yes.
I got 2 more things on news and updates before we really get in. I feel like we gotta ping Tim for the last one a month. So we had a voicemail from Rab. You're telling me?
I do.
All right, what we got?
Rab from the Big Rab Show. Yeah, old cuddly Pooh Bear. Can I just say, by the way, congratulations on your last few episodes. You guys have really been killing it. Your last episode there, especially with the guys for Playing for Sheets, talked about everything else other than what they were on the podcast to talk about, which was simply outstanding. I was in hysterics at the end of the episode. Simply brilliant. So very enjoyable episode, and please tell me you're getting them both on the podcast again. You need to make that happen. Get both of those guys back as soon as possible. Also, I need to raise, just in a very quick voicemail to you guys, to the 6, not towards you two, but to everyone else listening to the podcast. If you haven't listened to Josh and Andy's appearance on the Scale Down podcast yet, Episode 11 features your 2 hosts, and let's just say we get a little peek behind the curtain with how these 2 operate. We get to hear who is exactly the co-host. I think, do we find out who the bitch is in the relationship, perhaps? No, seriously, it's an incredible interview. I think you guys both came across very well on the podcast, and they did ask some quite personal questions about your love life. Very personal questions that I didn't think you guys would answer, but you did after 2 or 3 whiskeys. Very entertaining, very interesting, actually, and very brave as well, I have to say. So, guys, congratulations on outstanding episodes. I'm very excited for more. And if you aren't supporting these guys on Patreon, you're missing a trick. Please do that. Hashtag one of the 6. Go and support this amazing podcast because they're really killing it. All right, that's me. I'm out the door. Oh, and before I go, pipe and press sucks. Don't get me started on that bollocks.
Rab took a stand.
What about you? It's myself, Rab, from the big rap joke. Yeah, old cuddly Pooh Bear. Can I just say, by the way...
Sorry. It looped. I didn't mean it to loop. Sorry.
Dude, yeah.
Rap took a stand. How great is that?
Yeah, they do suck.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
So one of the things I want to point out, and Rad, I know you're listening, so take a note on this one. When you have a guest on that is on just to shill their own stuff, you gotta be like the cat that poops in the litter box but doesn't cover it up. It's a sign of dominance that oh no, we're not talking about your thing. Sorry, I'm glad you're here to talk about your Play for Sheets website, but just wait for it. Wait till the end.
It's funny that because he sent this in 2 days? I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, and he hadn't heard the episode, or must not have heard it by now. And we had those guys back to surprise Doogie with a bunch of fucking stories and nonsense.
Oh yeah, man, that was so much fun.
So great. Like, he did not see it coming. We did not blow our load per se, if you know what I mean, by letting the cat out of the bag, which was great. And those guys are awesome, and thanks for doing that. Cammy and Glenn, Doogie, yeah, whatever. He was shilling his wares, but the other two guys,
yeah,
that
was good fun.
Gold.
Dude, we had a lot of fun. If you haven't listened to that episode, so okay, now we can get to the meat and potatoes.
We've got meat.
We've got meat and we've got potatoes. We have fucking
Timmy boy,
and I miss this man more than I should miss someone who is that much older than me and also more creepy than I am.
I just want to say, Tim is tier 1 friend.
Tier 1 friend,
Absolutely,
100%. Yeah.
joke.
Yeah. So Fusco. Well, actually, no. Tim. Fusco's talked enough. I've talked enough. How the fuck did you end up traveling with us last season?
I was planning a trip to Vegas anyways because I'm a compulsive gambler.
Oh, well, now we understand.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, so it wasn't about us or the band or whatever. Okay, cool.
No. Actually, no, I was seriously going down there for a solo competition. That was the first time that I competed with you guys. I wanted to go to the Vegas games because I was just back into competing in pipe bands and stuff. And so I was trying to get as much in there as possible. So there was a dead spot in the
much like my dating life. Trying to get as much in there as I can.
So yeah, went down to solo compete, and by then I was kind of hooked on your podcast. So called you guys up and said, "Hey, can I sit in?" Fun, and Camille was there that time.
That's true. That was when Ozzy came too.
Yeah, we had 2 guests.
That was really cool to meet her.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming Ozzy only came once, but she came to town.
I don't know with who. Timmy, wait, was there a story here?
But
No.
Dude, that was like the.
You got me in trouble.
Well, trust me, we got in trouble too. Like that was like the Chanarant year where like we were hitting a decent stride. We had people travel because they listened to the podcast to come play with the band that shall not be named, and then didn't end well for us. Let's just say let's just say that people were not very happy with band leadership.
I was called to HR a couple times over that.
Yeah, well, I wasn't called to HR because I was just running a games.
No, I mean not literally, but yes, we were in trouble. And that's all. I'm going to blame Tim.
It's all Tim's fault.
It's Tim's fault.
He was the one just bevving you.
Oh my God. Thanks. No. Not, I don't mean over that. I just in general. Because he showed up and was a fucking killer player on the corner. Both him and didn't I put you both on the corner?
Dude, they were both so good.
Can't remember.
How insane is that? That I'm pretty sure I put you and her on the corners. I'm like,
here's my memory.
This should not be what's happening right now.
Yeah, like my memory of playing with Tim was because I think we'd talked before, but I think I met you for the first time when you came to Vegas.
Pretty much.
And like I was like doing game shit, and I was so excited. I was like, holy shit, this is the first time where all my volunteers are running this thing and they're doing their jobs and everything's going good. I can change my clothes and play with my band at my own event, which is just fucking got me 6 to midnight, you know what I mean? And so I like run across the field. I think it was like 30 minutes to go, or maybe like 45 minutes to go when I got there. So it was like warm up time, tune up time. Mm-hmm. And like everyone's like, we're tuning people, like we're playing through the sets, playing through the medley. And like, I remember Tim pulled me aside and he's like, hey, I'm doing this like last part of the reel wrong, the first reel, not the second reel. I'm doing the last part wrong. Mm-hmm. Can you play it with me real quick? And I was like, yeah. And so we snuck away and like played it real quick. And he's like, oh, like this? And he's like, just perfect. I was like, yes, exactly like that. And he's like, okay, cool. That was it. That was the entirety of like Tim like locking into the medley changes because it was a break change. And he's like, "Oh, is the break like this?" I was like, "No, it's like this." And he's like, "Oh, so like this?" And it was perfect. I was like, "Yes." And I was just like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
We are the destination pipe band, as Jack Lee likes to say.
I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" He just fucking nailed it. And I was like, "Oh yes, get in the. We're going now."
So Tim, front row
And that
or
was like
corner? Corner.
That was like probably like he made that fix probably 6 minutes before we went on.
Right, I remember this. You gotta love musicians like that can just adjust and like, all right, I got it.
Oh, is it this? No. Is it this? Yes. Okay, and just do that. Like,
yeah, that was great. It was good times though. We had fun. We got drunk. I don't know what else. I was blacked out, so I don't know what else.
I'm about to say you blacked out that day.
The first day, or
you got your shit stolen. You got your.
That's right.
That was the second day.
That was the second day. Yeah,
that was the second day where Fusco really.
There was some great footage in there too.
Oh my god, yeah.
I'm sure it'll surface eventually.
It'll show up. We don't even want our shit back. I just want that fucking little disc that stored all our stuff.
It was all audio, yeah. It
was all audio.
Yeah, there was no video package stolen, but the audio package got stolen. That was on me, by the way.
Yeah, we actually got Kevin Conquest.
First
Nations.
First and last time.
That was the first time I ever talked to Bethia on the air. Was that thing?
Yeah,
that gone.
Yeah,
gone. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, happens.
But then Tim also went to another event with us.
Yes, so we
2 months later.
What was the SoCal? Was it San Diego or Costa?
San Diego.
It was San Diego.
Yeah, we never went to Costa. We haven't been there in years because they're invite only. They're very important. So we went to San Diego.
Cool.
Yeah, great. Whatever. And then Tim came back. He flew down again.
That's right.
This is when Seattle Airport was still a part of the United States and had not seceded.
had not seceded from the Union.
I didn't have to get a visa.
And he came down again for San Diego, and that was probably the first time we recorded him on the show. But
yeah, because like I remember we were gonna go to San Diego, and we're like, oh, this is fucking, this is a little pricey poo. And then it was, they're like, oh, Tim's going to come down too and split the fucking Airbnb with us. And I was like, oh, thank God. cheap fucks that we are.
Well, cheap or broke, there's a difference.
Hey, he got the primo spot.
He got the big bed, but he did show up first.
Yeah, the rule is, hey, if you're a cheap bastard and you're splitting an Airbnb with like 4 of your friends, the first person to show up, or the
first choice, right?
They get pick. They get pick of the bed. That's how it works.
How did I end up in the goddamn twin size top of the bunk bed?
You picked top bunk.
Well, I like top bunk. That is fun though.
It didn't. Are we going into that?
No. We don't need to go into that again. Let's just leave that alone.
We told that story.
Yeah. We don't need to go into it again.
Yeah.
But
we talked about the war crimes that I had to listen to in the bottom bunk.
We don't need to go into that. Let's just leave that alone. But Tim, you came out again for San Diego. What was that experience like? Did you have fun with us, or was that a?
That was fun too. And staying with you guys at the B&B, that was great. I remember San Diego. I didn't do as well with you guys.
Well, nobody did.
Mark's out of sync. It was horrible. That wasn't quite as good of a performance, I don't think.
No, we were way tighter in Vegas, but we were pushing hard for Vegas. And then all of a sudden, nobody, our entire band stopped practicing for 2 months, and none of them knew what the fuck was going on.
Well, and maintenance was bad.
It was fucking
maintenance was bad in rough. San Diego. Everything was just moving wildly. It was not a good showing. I remember just stepping in Vegas and being like, "Can you get me real quick?" Okay, cool. And then we just nailed it. And then going to San Diego, and that was an hour of fucking tuning and setting up and what the fuck is this? Why is everything falling apart? What is going on right now?
I would say
that was one of the angrier
prep and setup or maintenance and people being prepared. People just hey, Vegas is over. I don't need to care anymore.
Yeah.
And they stop practicing.
That was one of the angrier pipe major moments I've seen from you.
Did I lose my shit? I don't remember.
You didn't lose your shit on anybody, but I could just tell.
Oh.
I could just tell when you were going around trying to tune and try to sort people's shit out, and it was just a fucking cluster.
I don't have enough time to sort. I can't practice for you. But yeah, hey, what are you gonna do? Whatever.
Well, and that was a season.
That was also the thing where Tim, you had the wrong size kilt. Remember that was a whole fucking thing
Yes,
too.
don't
God
remind
damn
me.
it, that's what pissed me off was that whole kilt thing. That's what it
the
was.
kilt thing was a nightmare. Yeah,
It's like they sent the wrong kilt. I'm like, of course.
and it wasn't like a little wrong.
No,
it
it was way wrong.
majorly wrong.
I think it would have fit around one of my legs, maybe.
Yeah, like
I'm like we got nothing else.
like
'cause
all of
our-
a sudden we have a piper that like flew in to play with us, and he's playing in a fucking mini kill.
Yeah, it's like, how do you fuck this up? He just played with us 2 months ago. Send the same fucking
Same
kilt.
fucking thing, right? Yeah,
Dude, this is why
that was a rough time.
we can't dig out of our own hole. We've got people that can't get the job done.
Yeah, it happens, but it was good sesh.
Oh, we had a great time. I mean, I felt bad for Tim because it's like there's nothing worse than wearing a kilt that's wrong size. And it's
Well,
like
he had his own.
embarrassing.
He had his own for solos.
Yeah. But like, you just look like a fucking tool when your kilt doesn't fit right, you know? And it's
Yeah.
like, God damn it! Now we
Well-
all look like tools because Tim's a tool. Or, I mean,
Well, and it's one of those things where it's like, one of the things I preach constantly when I'm doing lessons with members and students is like, just remove things that you have to think about, right? Like, don't play with the metronome because then you don't have to think about your foot. Play, like memorize your music because you don't have to worry about reading music. Like, just start to kind of cut things away from stuff you have to focus on. As much as you can make it just muscle memory, the better. Mm-hmm. Uniform issues, like if you have a uniform issue and you're self-conscious about it, or you're freaked, or it's fucking with your head, like that's an immediate thing that'll get you. Like the reason, and this is a thing that I would tell people who are members when they had like proper fitting uniforms, not even the thing that would wrap around Tim's leg. Like,
I was so angry about that.
I
was so angry.
You were pissed, and you were rightfully pissed, in my opinion. But it's like it's one of those things where I'm like, dude, like the reason I tell people, like, just as soon as you take your fucking uniform off, right? You get home from a gig, you take your uniform off, clean it, press it, hang it.
And it's ready to go when you go to the next thing.
It's just not a thing you have to worry about then.
Yeah.
Like, all you got to do is remove worry from the situation. Like, what happens if you get a call, and I've had this happen to me before, it's like, hey, can you cover a funeral at 4? And I'm like trying to duck out of work early and head home and like grab my kit, and my kit's all wadded up in the fucking corner. Like, just
Well, hold on.
make sure your shit's ready to rock. It's one less thing for you to worry about. You should only be worried about music. You should not be worried about whether or not your shirt's wrinkly.
Well, hold on. Maybe it's just occurring to me now, but maybe we misassigned blame. Maybe Tim gained 275 pounds from April to June.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happened.
In
Maybe
60
it was
days.
Tim's fault. He gained 200 pounds in 60 days, and it's his fault.
I don't know, man. He looked the same to me.
Oh, I don't know. This is you can't get out of your
remember
own
you
fucking
saying,
way,
like,
man.
Do you want to just try it? See if it'll work. I'm holding it up. It's like, it's going like this big, like 1 foot across.
Dude, I was so in denial.
Even try.
I was so in denial.
I still I remember
Like, there's
us.
no way he fucked this up.
I remember us being like in the fucking Airbnb, and I was like brainstorm. I'm sitting there. I'm like, do I have paracord in my trunk? Like, can I?
How are we gonna make this work?
I was like, can I just like web this thing up and then put a vest over it, and we'll call it
Pull all
a
the
day?
pleats out.
Like,
we had Susan, whatever her name is, Ross or Rose, whatever her name is, who does kilts. That was the whole thing. With
I'm sitting there.
She could have fixed it, maybe.
I'm sitting there. I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay.
Then we started trying to trade kilts. I'm like, well, wear mine, and maybe I can fit into this one. Nothing worked.
I couldn't fit into it.
No, it was ridiculous. It was like a kid's
tiny.
Like, what the? So this is the whole theory of like it's either malevolent or incompetence or whatever.
This
I'm
was definitely incompetence.
I'm like, how do you fuck this up this bad that it almost seems like it was malevolent?
No, this definitely struck me as incompetence, not malevolence.
It's so frustrating.
You got to keep in mind though, man. Like I remember driving all the way to fucking Flagstaff for games when I first moved back and forgot my kilt. Do you remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
Like I get there, I'm unpacking, and I'm like, you know how you always forget one thing when you're packing?
I remember this very well.
I was like, I just realized the one thing I forgot. Like my whole shirt, everything's hanging there. I'm like, there's no fucking guilt in this bag.
If you could see the look on my face when he tells me this, I'm like,
yeah, they all can. They can see the fucking look on your face. Oh my God, dude.
I showed up to a gig once, all dressed up, all ready to go, and no bagpipes. and it was I used to live on an island, so I had to take a ferry. It was like a 2-hour drive north after the ferry. So I spent probably 3 hours getting to this gig.
Oh God.
And no bagpipes.
Was this a solo gig or a band thing?
It was a solo gig.
Oh my God.
It was a time I used to play so much that I would just keep my pipes in the car all the time.
You just forgot that your pipes weren't in
And
the
this one time I didn't have my pipes in the car. I was like, I made a living playing pipes, and so my pipes were always ready to go for some gig or whatever. And this was one time when I had taken them out the night before for something else, and they weren't there.
Also, I feel like I've earned don't be wrong, I spent this karma, but I earned a decent amount of karma in the early days of my piping career, covering for an Andy Fuco who either got drunk and slept in his car in a parking garage or was at some random's house and had no idea where he was.
It happened like twice.
Pre-gig.
And now I'm living the nightmare of this recollection forever.
Like the amount of times I had to cover for your ass when I was like, he's not answering his phone.
For a band gig, though.
And then, gigs. And it was like, okay, guys, no worries. Andy's just running a little late. We're going to quickly tune, and we're going to start without him.
There was one St. Patrick's Day parade.
There was a parade. Oh, there was a parade. There was
that one
casino
wedding.
gigs. There's
that
been
one
weddings.
wedding.
There's been all kinds of shit, dude.
Where they wanted 4 of us, and I was I remember that well.
Like I still remember. Like
I called Graham up that day. I was like, dude, I'm in North Las Vegas near the fucking Air Force Base. I don't have my car. There's a woman next to me. I have no idea who she is. I have no idea how I'm going to get there. He's like,
I've none of my gear. Like
he threatened my life. I remember this very clearly. He's like, you better fucking get here. I'm like, I will show up on time. So I called my roommate at the time. He came up and got me. No. This is what happened. I called my roommate. I told him, go in my closet and get all my shit. And I will meet you at the thing, which was at, not Treasure Island, the thing that looks like a castle. What's that called? Excalibur. That was where the wedding was.
I was there for that one.
You were there for that. I met him in the parking lot. He had all my shit. This girl brought me to this place. And I changed the parking lot. I ran in. I made it just in time. I'm like, hey guys, you want
a bag of hammered assholes.
You want to gamble with the devil? This is what you get.
This is why
I'm getting fucked these days.
This is why I say, when you get home, take your kit off, clean it, press it,
because it was ready. That's why
clean
I did.
it. Get a good garment bag.
Garment bag, absolutely.
Clean it, press it, hang it in the garment bag. Make sure that if you had to just run in, grab your case and one thing, and go to a gig, you can. Because you never know what life's going to throw at you.
No, you never know. Let me tell you. I am well prepared for anything because I've seen everything. So I'm curious, though, Tim, when's the last time you woke up at a random's house?
No, I can't remember.
Wait, you didn't consider it to be a random's house when you woke up in San Diego?
That was pretty random.
To the sound of a Fusco turtle humping a shoe?
Oh, that's funny. Was that me or?
I think it was you.
Can I tell your story of that night?
Oh, absolutely. If you'd like, yeah. Was it me listening to my earbuds with
trying to drown out the sound
of you repeatedly banging?
We don't need to talk about that. It was a long time ago. I'm much more mature now. Tim, wouldn't you agree I'm much more mature?
Much more mature.
So, Tim, what was your main takeaway from a weekend traveling with the Chan Ramp boys?
Never again.
What's interesting is, and I actually ran into Tim back in, what was it, Winter Storm.
Yeah.
And I remember I hadn't, and you probably hadn't either, heard from him in forever. Probably since the summer. I don't remember exactly.
Was he giving us a cold shoulder?
I didn't know, and I thought he was. So I was like, "Man,
Tim,
I
you
was
cunt!
I wrote
giving us the cold shoulder."
No, I wrote to him on Facebook. He didn't respond. I was like, "Hey, man, how's things going?" Because he was going to come out for the concert. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And I just fucking radio silence. I'm like, "Shit, I wonder if we pissed him off, right?" So then I run into him at Winter Storm. I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta go talk to him, like find out what we did, because there's very often it's like, oh shit, what did I do?
What do we do? What do we do to poor Tim?
So I was trying to like run into Tim and Stephen McWhirter and try to make amends. And so I ran into Tim like, hey man, did we upset you? Like, did something happen? Like you just disappeared. And what happened?
I feel bad about that.
What happened, Tim?
No, I was just busy. I had work stuff going on. I have a business that I run. So it was just pretty stressful time going through some changes, and it was taking over my life. So yeah.
Yeah, we understand.
Nothing personal.
Josh is going through that right now.
Nothing personal. I still love you guys.
Yeah, I'm going through that. I'm going through that right now, except without the having a business.
Without making a living part. That's fair. That's fair. So I guess it ended up being a happy story because Tim does not hate us, which is good.
Nope.
Yeah, and
I honestly thought he did.
To put a button on the Tim traveling with Chen rant story. Apparently, there's video evidence. Mm-hmm. Did we play this on the show already?
You'd have to ask Ozzy Broad. I have no idea. I barely make it here, let alone remember.
Well, you make it here precisely on time. Then you wait for 4 minutes before you come up.
Dude, I was here 2 minutes early. Fuck you. I saw somebody open the door.
I was me. Because it was 2 minutes late, and I was like, "Oh,
It wasn't 2 minutes late.
He's just waiting in his car."
It's a power play. It's like, hey, listen, man, I might be here early, but I'm not.
Why do you think?
in
Why do you
till
think I
1
pad the start of the episode? It's not a power play anymore. I planned for it.
Dude, I've been great lately.
I'm Batman in this motherfucker.
So we have video. Tim took video.
Yes,
of something that happened,
and it's tragic.
It's horrible. It's
this
awful.
was us. This was us doing karaoke, and because there were some ladies that were with us. This is true. There were ladies with us at the time that we were trying to woo.
I don't know what we were thinking when we used this as wooing material.
Well, the floor can only get so wet.
Let me tell you, if you could go out and watch this video, we'll put it in a link. We'll put it in the show notes.
Tim, your YouTube channel is about to be famous.
Yeah, and it's going to be like, look at the floor. It's just whoosh.
Sheen. Yeah. Couldn't step on it. Might slip.
It's like MLK when she goes out for hamburgers.
Oh, for fun.
I don't know. I don't even know what that means, but.
All right, send it. Oh, this is us doing it, isn't it?
No one to say. See to make it love. We both made us separate ways. And now I hear you found somebody new. Never meant that much to you.
Wait, cut it before we get copyright infringement. Hold on.
Oh, it was karaoke. We're okay, right?
Dude, that was a fucking night.
That was a night.
Remember the guy in the fucking like outfit?
I can see it. He's in this video.
I think he's in the video.
He's in the video. Like this part I picked up.
Dude had like the entire fucking like
he had a Def
80s
Leppard
rock
thing.
Def Leppard outfit. Oh,
like we used to do when we went out. We remember we used to do this?
Yeah, man. It was like the shittiest fucking bar. And we just picked it. We're like, okay, this one looks horrible.
They had karaoke. No, I think we picked it because they had
karaoke, man. That was good
and
fun.
it was a shithole, right? It was awful.
It was a
Pretty
great shithole.
We loved it.
Perfect dive bar.
Oh, it was great. Because that's what we do when we travel. We find dive bars.
We do. We are dive bar locating devices. So Tim,
You know what was the best part of that trip for me though?
what's that, man?
That Indian food.
That was so good.
I want to go back there.
Dude,
That was good food.
Not only was the food delicious, I loved how like the fucking 14-year-old server was just giving us shit.
She was just dishing it right back out.
She was fucking just. He was like, hey, I don't know, what the fuck do you want? Like, come on.
Dude, that was so funny, right? Because who was she giving shit to? I'm trying to forget.
Me. She's giving shit to me. She's giving shit to you. She's giving shit to Bishki. Like,
really?
It was, yeah, dude. It was like. Well,
I just remember it happening, but I don't remember.
I wanted to, like. Do you have anything without meat in it? And she's like, yeah, it's in the fucking vegetarian menu.
Yeah, she's like, there's a vegetarian? Oh, yeah, there you go. She was very patronizing. It was great. But she was being very funny. It was great.
Yeah, I was like, well, I'll get a beer. And she's like, probably more than one, asshole. I'm like, yeah. I mean, your tip just went up. Like,
Yeah, she was great.
Seriously.
Dude, that was amazing. And then, like,
it's like the more, trust me, the more you shit talk us, the higher your tip goes. Like, I love this.
this is where I discovered that Alex has no taste buds.
Dude, she
got
had the
hottest
spiciest
shit you've ever
Seriously.
heard.
She had the spiciest fucking shit.
She's like,
Yeah.
I can. This is nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
I wanted
Yeah.
to die. Just like I was across the table and
like
it
crying.
made me cry just smelling it.
Yeah. Dude,
That place was awesome.
Yeah, that was some spicy fucking shit. And it was fucking good though. It was
it's
so
so
good.
good. Yeah.
And it was just
Really
like, it was
good.
like in a strip mall. It was like a tiny little
It was
shit
like,
hole.
yeah.
And like
such a
we
hole
all
in the
we all
wall.
walk in post games in our gear and there's like,
of
oh,
kilts
these
and-
fucking assholes.
That was a good time. So if we ever go back
Where
to
it's
San
like
Diego,
table for 8, please.
we're going there.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. That place was amazing.
That was great.
That kid will be able to drive us home.
By now,
Yeah.
she's an adult now.
No.
No,
No. Half plus 7.
right? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Do the math. So, Tim, one of the reasons, many reasons we had you on the show, not just because we enjoy your sparkling face from a very much upward angle, but also because y'all have been doing some pretty cool Brady Bunch calls. Tell us, what made y'all want to do some pipe band shit and
During
post it?
COVID, yeah. How did this all come
Yeah.
about?
Well, we just like everybody, we were kind of scrambling. Like, what are we gonna do? So we set up Zoom practices, like probably a lot of people are doing. But you know, you can't really practice like that. So it's turned in for us. It's turned in more to lectures from our teacher, Yori Chisholm, who's kind of the mentor for the band. So he's been giving lectures on different topics every week, which is pretty cool.
Yori's okay, but we got
but,
Jack Lee. I'm not dropping names or nothing, but
Well, I have a question. Is that so?
kidding.
So is he like a local person, or does he live there? I know he's not
Yes.
local, but is he?
Yeah, he lives
lives
in
in-
Shoreline, which is not far. Yeah,
Interesting.
he's in the area.
formerly of SFU.
and
very,
so-
very good player. Very
He was.
excellent.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in like the idea of like band mentors because it's like is he a band member or he just chimes in?
Just a mentor. Yeah, no, he doesn't play with us.
He's like what Jack Lee is
in
to us.
gigs.
Very high level.
Also, if there's any grade 4, grade 5 pipe bands out there that are looking for a mentor, I'm available and I'm incredibly mean.
and he's also very drunk.
I will just tell you to go fuck yourself until you're good.
And then get drunk on your dime. It's a brilliant gig.
You can Skype me and I'll just be like, you suck. And here's why.
Learn how to play, and then call me back.
I want you to take all the kitchen knives out of your drawer. Now go throw them into a piece of plywood until they all stick. Now come back in. Now rehemp your pipes. Now do 17 push-ups. Now play. I'm like, why? I'm like, yours is not to question why. Yours is
wax
to,
on, wax off,
yours is to
motherfucker.
obey.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, how long's Yori been working with your band?
He's been with the band for a long time. Well before I came on. I would say probably 10 years or so.
Oh, look at that. That's a gig.
Yeah,
right
he's
there.
a fixture, and it is kind of. So yeah, but he's a permanent fixture. I mean, he's there every week, and he's there to help us tune up. On
Also a
games.
big
stuff.
fan of Atherton Pipes, Yori Chisholm. As are you,
Yes, he
Tim?
is.
As are you, Tim?
Yep. He's the one that turned me on to him.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
They are awesome.
Yep.
I got some cracks in my drone, so that's depressing.
No. It happened to me once. It hasn't happened in a long time. But so do you have any
Did you
idea?
get him fixed?
Oh yeah. No, Dave fixed it for me. He made me a new one and I had to pay for it.
Right.
So I fixed it for you.
Oh no. Well, no, I sent it back to him and no. Okay. So he made me a new one. Then I sent him the other piece. He he moved the silver. Blah blah. It's a whole thing.
It's like
I had to pay for it.
listen, like my transmission was out on my truck, so I bought a new truck.
No, it was one piece, but it cost me. It's not cheap. So he's like, I said, hey, this cracked. He's like, all right, it'll be this much. I'm like, all right, do it, because I don't give a fuck. Just get it done.
Well, and Athertons are nice pipes, man.
Yeah, but it was my fault.
Did it match the original set? Like, had they changed anything or
No. He's like, all right, he's got this whole thing cataloged.
We should get Dave on as well.
Oh, we absolutely should. He would never come on, but we would do it. But he's got this whole shit catalog. He knows exactly your pipes. He knows exactly what he did. He knows what's going on. Like, it's remarkable. This guy is remarkable.
That's a guy who has serial killed someone at some point.
Oh, it's very possible.
Like that attention, that attention to detail. If you have that attention to detail, which I know he does,
it's remarkable.
You were either a CSI or a serial killer. It's like, one or the other.
He can tell you the history of your pipes if they were made through him or through Chrome.
He's like the fucking Court. You don't have to say this out loud. Who's the person in Harry Potter that selects the wands in Diagon Alley? Look it up and shout it.
I don't know his name, but I've heard of the.
But like that would be like that is how I picture Dave in my mind. Like he's the person where it's like you come to him 20 years later and he's like, oh yes, you had a 2011 Blackwood.
That's exactly correct. That is absolutely 100% correct. Wouldn't you say, Tim? I don't know if you ever met him or talked to him, but absolutely correct.
I haven't met him now.
I just shouted.
I don't think he's making pipes anymore.
What's that? Ollivander.
So, but he goes through phases of making pipes.
That's like Dave, dude. Like he's just like, oh, you had the blowpipe that cracked. Let's see, that was 2009. It was in November.
Okay, you bought these 2013. These are 2013 premieres. Okay, I will make that. It'll be this much. Send me back this so I can move the silver. Blah blah blah. It was like a whole thing. Anyway, neither here nor there.
That's fucking
Tim,
awesome.
I feel bad
though.
for you. Have you contacted him about like getting it changed?
No. Well, the thing is, I'm always playing them. So, like, how am I supposed to live without my tenor drone for?
He'll make it regardless. I mean, it'll cost you money.
You don't have to send it back.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, though.
Yeah, I didn't know.
The worst part of this happening, Tim, I promise you, this is the worst part. Is like, oh fuck, I got to email Dave and told him I broke his fucking. Like, this guy is out in a crazy perfectionist. He's like an artist, right? And I'm like, I had a crack in one of my drones, like the right
tops
above the stock.
or the
no
above the stock.
It was between the top and the stock. I'm like, fuck, I can't believe I gotta contact Dave and say, and I was like,
I broke your instrument.
Super mousy. I'm like, hey man, like, I'm really sorry, but I brought your pipes out in the cold and I shouldn't have, and or whatever it was, and it cracked, like, hey, I would just, whatever it takes, I just need to get this replaced, and it was like, great, this much, it'll be done by this time, and of course, it all depends on if it works out. But anyway, this is long. We're way off topic, but they're fucking fantastic. I feel bad. It sucks when they break because they're outstanding.
Great set of pipes. I didn't even know you had replaced a part.
Once, when I 6 months after I first bought it.
Yeah, couldn't even tell.
Yeah.
It was about the same for me too, and it was because I didn't oil them, and I read the instructions. Oh, he's got all these detailed instructions about how you're supposed to oil them all.
Insanely detailed.
And I was like, I don't need to do that.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
So I have not as nice pipes. Obviously, you've seen and played mine.
Unfortunately,
yeah. Jesus Christ. I have a different view, and the view that I take towards my bagpipes is very similar to the view I take towards my guitars, my cameras, like anything that's a tool for me. Like in my mind, I'm a musician. Bagpipes are a tool I use to make music. Guitars are a tool I use to make music. Cameras are a tool I use to make videos and photos. Computers are, I don't get very attached to the tools. If I cracked, I remember I cracked a the stock on my blowpipe and replaced it with something that didn't fit, that I could get cheap off Pulaski that was like Polypenco because it would work, and it's all about, for me, it's always been about like the thing's got to work. It's got to function. And if it can function at a level that's pretty high, I'll take it. Like, that's not a problem. I could have mismatched everything. Mismatched drones, mismatched fucking reeds, doesn't matter. As long as it sounds good and it fucking performs.
Sounds good and performs two different things.
It's a tool to me.
I can't wait to this contest because
it's going to be great.
It's all
Fight
gonna
Night.
be,
Yeah,
it's
we'll
gonna
talk
be very
about
obvious.
But now that you've been read back in on Fight Night,
Yes.
it'll be fun. But like for me, it's always like just it's got to get the job done, right? Like I've never worried about breaking a camera because a camera's a tool, and as long as you get the shot, if you break the fucking camera, you just get another camera. There's not like an intrinsic personal value to the tool. Granted, I do have some instruments that do have that. Like
You have a 2003 McCallum, so I understand your
but I've
thoughts
got
on this.
I've got like guitars that were gifted to me that are very important to me because the people that gifted them to me, they're also, more resilient than bagpipes. But I've got like my small pipes are important to me because I always wanted small pipes and I finally bought them. But it's just interesting. Like, and the parts of the tool don't matter as much as like what can it do.
I hear you. I get the theory. Like you're only as good as like Jack Lee made your pipe sound good, and so I get that. But then also, good tools make good work. So there's two different philosophies here.
Well, there's the philosophy of a poor craftsman blames his tools.
Right.
And then there's a philosophy of good tools make good work. Jesus Christ, you're shitting your pants on air.
That's what I do. Isn't that why I'm here? I'm the co-host who farts. That's my thing.
That's true. I don't think I can find someone as gaseous.
That's my shtick. Exactly, Tim.
But yeah, no. Well, Tim, I'm interested in your opinion on this because you have fancy pipes.
Yeah, I think you have to treat them more than tools. I mean, it's an instrument. It's like an extension of yourself.
Absolutely.
And the more you play them, the more you put into them, the more they become a part of you. And so when something breaks, it's like something broke inside you.
Now, the instrument doth not the player maketh, for sure. But also, if you have a good instrument, it makes your life a little easier. It doesn't make you a fucking Stuart Little, but practice makes you Stuart Little. But, well,
so what
to
you're
be quite
saying
honest,
is,
actually, that's not true either.
what you're saying is I don't have to buy a good instrument until I'm a good player.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying a good instrument maketh. There's a lot to be said for a good tool. A better fucking drill makes your life easier or whatever. I don't know. Pick any fucking analogy you want.
I would argue this, but I would like you to finish first.
I've seen this literally. Like, okay, I'm not a fucking genius player by any means, but when I got my Athertons, I was like, fucking hell, mate. This is a whole different world. Like, easier to play, more efficient, better sound, lock in better, stay in tune longer. So many things. It didn't make me a better player because my fingers are my fingers regardless, right? But the other part of this too is like if you have a good tool, you want to do more, right? That was one of the big things Eric and I discovered because we got ours at the same time. Was like, man, I love playing these things. I want to play more. That was also a thing.
I miss Pulaski dearly. Do you think we can get him on?
Maybe he probably would.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tim? Well, hold on. I'm curious, Tim. When you got yours, how did it affect your?
Well, and if you don't mind telling us, what did your Athertons replace?
I had a set of 1950s Lowrys, and they were really good too. But they were seriously abused because I used to be a street performer, and I carried those things around all the time. And I had this case that was literally held together by twine. And a few times walking down the streets, my pipes just fell out on the sidewalk.
You sound like Ryan.
Oh,
You sound like the
God.
guy.
That hurts my soul.
Oh yeah, those things were really beat up, but they sounded beautiful anyways. It didn't matter.
Yeah, Lowrys
But
are great.
what I can tell you is I used to have a set of Hardys like from Pakistan that were like $500. It was my starter set, and those things, no matter what you did to them, they would not stay in tune. They just sounded awful. So going from that to like a real set of pipes was like night and day. But I also feel like I was a better player for having struggled with those shitty pipes for so long. So,
See?
yeah.
Why do you say that? Why do you think you're a better player for struggling with pipes that were never in tune?
Because I was constantly tuning them, so I would develop more of an ear for tuning and a steady blowing, because you're trying to fight an instrument that has so little tolerance for, variations in pressure. That's a thing. I mean, I think one of the things that makes Atherton so in that way is that they have a higher tolerance for slight variations in pressure.
Yeah, I agree with that too. They definitely do.
That's interesting.
Like they stay in tune even if you're a shittier blower.
Don't get me wrong.
Essentially.
Slightly.
If I
Slightly,
ever
yeah.
To a real minor extent, yeah.
if I ever had money again, I would buy Athertons, but it's only because I think they sound great and they're made in America, which
They are made in America.
It's dope.
That's true. Chicago, actually.
Urka.
this episode brought to you. How do we get an Atherton sponsorship?
I don't know. he doesn't care.
Ideally,
This guy is like the ultimate
because I've thought
artist.
about
He
this.
does not care.
I've thought about this a lot. Like, if I had the means, I thought, I'd love to have a set of Athertons and I'd love to have a set of Polybanco pipes that I could just beat the shit out of.
I have both.
Because I know you do. Because
July 4th parade is my Polypenko pipes.
Yeah.
Other than that, I play the Athertons.
that's the thing for me is like I'd love to have a set I could beat the crap out of, and also a set that was like, okay, it's time to get fancy.
Oh, they're fantastic. I absolutely love them. Don't regret it at all. It was
But
a lot of money. Very expensive.
One of the things for me is when I use the analogy of the bagpipe as a tool or a means to an end, you kind of illustrated what I was feeling very well when it's like, give Zach Wilde a $100 guitar and he's gonna fucking shred.
Sound great. Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's, in my opinion, the reason that I haven't. Well, there's two reasons. The reasons I haven't changed my bagpipes. Reason number one, I'm too fucking poor. I can't afford it. Reason number two, I don't consider myself to be good enough to like qualify the expense. Right? It's like, okay, if I was really, really playing top of my game, and then if the only thing holding me back was my instrument, then I'd be like, okay, I got to replace my instrument. But I don't think that's the case right now.
I don't know if I agree, but I see where you're going. But
Well, you've listened to me fucking play. Like, I don't think the instrument is the main thing holding me back. I think it's more about
it's your motivation and
yeah.
attitude.
It's more about the time I put into it.
Yes, absolutely correct. And if you were more, and I wouldn't say it's like your ability, it's more your intent.
Well, and it's prioritization.
Correct.
Like it's where does this particular thing land in the laundry list of crises facing me right now? Like, it's like, well, I like playing good music and I have good fun with it. I love going to band practice. I fucking miss band practice so much. But it's like, on the laundry list of existential crisis, this one's kind of low right now. So just get to it when I get to it, I suppose.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, there's no need for it at this stage by any means. But that doesn't mean it's not fun.
Yeah, I got to be more focused on buying that little four-legged creature food.
Well, that's fair. No, that's true too. Yeah. But, I mean, we got way off topic here. The point was, Tim makes videos.
The point was Athertons are dope and Tim makes videos.
Yeah, and we got off, like, Yuri teaches his band, and what else?
Yeah, so that was, we were talking about practice, but one of the things our pipe major came up with, and it was something that I'd been thinking about for a while too, was to do a video. And we were, before the the lockdown or whatever, the COVID stuff, we were working on this Lincoln Hilton suite that we were going to perform at the Tacoma Tartan Ball. It's kind of a big deal. They get a couple hundred people there. It's a few bands come. The Clan Gordon. And we were practicing that, and
Sorry,
we decided that would be
you
our
cut
first
off
thing.
right after Clan Gordon. Was it Clan Gordon?
Oh, okay. So Clan Gordon is the ones with the yellow flashes.
Oh.
They came down to Vegas. I think.
I remember those guys.
Yeah, I think you guys saw them.
Oh,
Anyways, but they host this Tacoma Tartan Ball every year, which is really well attended. And several bands from the area show up and do their little thing. And we were practicing this Lincoln Hilton suite for that. but of course it got canceled. And so yeah, we came up with the idea to do this video, and Larry reached out to me because I've done some, like graphical stuff for the band and different things, and he thought maybe I could pull this off. Well, I've never really done video work before, but I was like, sure, I'll do it. So I spent the weekend on YouTube learning how to use Premiere Pro and
YouTube University, as it goes.
To be able to figure it out. And yeah, that's what we used. I have Premiere because I do some website stuff and it's part of the package. I just needed Photoshop and Illustrator, but Premiere was there. And I'd never opened it. But I was like, okay, I got the tools. Let me figure out how to use them.
Yeah, it's kind of how mine went too. I was like, I don't know how to do video edit, but I'm going to figure this out. I didn't use Premiere, but that's okay. But take us back here. Like, how did you organize this to make this happen? Like, start from like.
So yeah. So what it is, we got Yori to record a guide track. So he plays it on the practice channel, and then to a click, right? So you hear the little click, 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 and him playing on the practice channel, and everybody gets that MP3, and they, set it up on their phone or their laptop to play it, and then they at the same time, and they're listening to the guide track in their headphones while they play along, and then they send me those videos. So I get all those videos. I strip the audio out and I put them into an audio editor that I have that allows me to clean up the files and make them sound a little bit better, and merge everything and mix it all kind of nice, and then put the audio with the video. The way we went was pretty much it.
Okay, so
so you brought me on this show and took like 3 minutes to explain it. No,
that's
now
right.
what?
That's right. Back to pussy. No. But it's interesting because
Let's say if you guys are making a video, start with this.
You do that.
Trust me, it'll help.
No, but
Yeah.
that's pretty cool, man. That's but you guys seem to have. I mean, I've seen a lot of. People are getting better at it as COVID goes on and on and on and on and on. But like you were your band was one of the first ones that really fucking.
Well, it
be
did
really
it good. Yeah, like
it was really tight. So how did you advise your guys? Like, all right, put this in your ear and record yourself. But like, how did you people fuck that shit up all the time?
I'm about to say, I can't get people to fucking put their earbuds in and listen to a metronome while they play on pipes and record it. It's like,
so like because there's a lot of people in your band that did this.
Yeah, there were. We had a pretty good participation, and that's actually been really cool. It's been a good way for us to practice and stay motivated and stuff. So that's definitely kept the band going. But yeah, there were a couple of people that I had to send them back and say, hey, can you redo this and fix this about the video, or play this differently or whatever. And with my audio editing program, I can fix little timing stuff, because one of the biggest disadvantages that they have is that they can record themselves while listening to the sound with the guide track. Do you know what I mean? Because when they play it back for themselves, all they hear is themselves, right? They don't hear the guide track. So They don't know when they send me these videos how well they were actually lining up. They can just, it's just as you're playing, hopefully you feel like you were on it.
Right.
Right. So it's
you did a lot more editing than I thought then, because like the way I would have done it would have been like, take your phone, let's say, and landscape format selfie, and I guess people use their phone for a metronome, but ideally you have a metronome that's not your phone. Plug your earbuds into your metronome and then just play, because it's not going to matter as long as you're playing to the metronome. The camera's not going to hear it, so you don't have to worry about that. And then you could just sync up in post, like just do like a,
you can move.
That's what I did.
Move to left or right.
That's what we did.
And when I did our version for the dojo, that's what I did. I was like, I had to move shit around a little bit to kind of get to line up a little better, because some people play always in front of the beat. So I just move it back.
But you couldn't hear the click, right?
No. All the clicks were in their ears.
Click in the ear. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's a good way to do it.
When I did it the first time, I did it with like a Yori track, like he's talking about. I recorded myself playing it, and they played along to it. The second time, we're working on one right now, and it's I'm just telling, like, I recorded no track. I'm like, just play to the click. Let's just see how we do. But we're doing it as a learning experience, not so much like, hey, this is
It's
our
not
band.
a performance thing.
No, it's not about that. It's about learning. So like,
They both turned out really good.
so let's play to the click and see what happens. And it's been much more of a struggle to get that accurate without a like a master track like Tim's talking about here. But like, what audio program do you use, Tim?
Well, I do a little like home recording, so I have Cubase Pro. It's kind of a professional.
Yeah, a little more
Like Pro Tools
robust than
stuff.
Audacity or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
but there's a lot of free ones out there that anybody could use. It's definitely, you could do everything all in Premiere Pro. Only I just don't know that program well enough to make it
You
easy.
do it on Audacity as well. Like, once Tim goes down the audition wormhole, which will happen because he's got the full package, that'll trust me, that'll be quite the experience to learn all the things you can do in fucking Audition because
Pretty remarkable.
it's scary.
His band will sound like Field Marshal.
I remember the first time. I was working an audition, and it wasn't you. It was when I was working at my old job, and I was like doing the spectral audio display, and I was literally like photoshopping out frequencies. And there's like, how the fuck does this work? And I was like, dude, you don't even know. Like, I'm literally just like clone stamping and erasing frequencies in a spectral graph of the audio track that we're working on right now. It's crazy shit, dude.
It is crazy.
Computers are amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole.
I had to learn how to do it on tape when I took my first studio recording class, and it was a pain in the ass.
Are you that old?
No. My studio recording class that I took when I was in college was like, you gotta learn it the shit way first, then we'll give you Pro Tools.
Oh, okay. Let's do it the hard way.
Yeah.
Just to make you suffer.
It's like, listen to the warm buzz of analog and the suffering of you having to re-record 8 tracks. Okay, now you can use the computer. It's like, motherfucker.
So Tim, the biggest reason we had you on is because you guys got a new video coming out. What is this one? And we were hoping to have it done by now, but of course.
I know. Yeah, we're waiting on a couple of more players to finish their videos.
Well,
It's
Tim joshed it, and the video's late.
How about that?
pretty much. Yeah. Yeah,
But,
I'm disappointed because it's actually something that I arranged, and the band decided that they liked it and they want to play it. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. And it's not something I wrote. It's a popular song that everybody knows, but I wrote like a 7-part arrangement for it.
Wait, is this the thing you played at the beginning? Is it Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
No, I swear it's not. It's much cooler than that.
I just want to make sure.
I just did that to annoy Andy because I know he hates pop songs.
God damn it, Tim. That's a good song though.
Well, I gotta say, man, you've been killing it, and I miss you dearly. It was really good fun hanging out with you when we were in SoCal, and I hope that you'll consider.
It was great until Winter Storm and he blew me off, but that, you know.
I hope that you'll consider putting on a blue kilt again, especially if it fits you.
Yeah, we'll find one that fits you. I promise. Even if you gain weight,
Absolutely. Which I have during this COVID thing.
haven't we also?
Well, real quick, we're winding down the episode. Tim, do you want to get a little final thought, my dude?
You go first.
I have to go first. I always go last. Fusco can go first.
I'll go first. So I think these exercises in putting videos together is a very good exercise in teaching your band, educating your band. It's good education to have people essentially learn to play to a click.
Yeah,
More or less. Track. I mean, to keep it, it's like playing in a recording studio where all you got is their click, and you got to like remember your tune, and you got to play through the thing. But it's a great learning experience to like, hey, all these individual pieces add up to the whole. So like we're going to record you as an individual piece and then put it together into the whole. When we stand in band practice and everybody's like hiding amongst each other because it's all happening live, like you underestimate how important every individual is to make the sound better. So like this is such a great exercise in like all right, you got to do this again because this didn't quite work. And when you line it all up and like their strikes are out of time and blah blah blah, whatever it is, like you can learn so much from.
You can show it on a waveform.
You can show it on a waveform.
Yeah.
It's very visual.
Yeah.
But it's like such a great learning experience. So I encourage people to try this kind of thing.
I never thought about that. I never thought about, because, you know, I've done studio recording as well. I never thought about the fact that, like, the average person who is in a pipe band isn't used to putting headphones on.
They don't even not even used to. They don't have a clue.
Putting headphones on, playing their part to a click into a microphone. And I never, didn't even cross my mind where I'm just like, oh, fuck, you have no idea what that's like, right? Like the hundreds of times I've done like guitar takes, back in the old emu days, drum takes, like, you know, pipe takes on albums. It's like, yeah, like, fuck. I don't realize the fact is like, you're not used to the idea of putting headphones on, listening to a click track or a backing track, and then playing into a microphone in time. And you're right.
Thing is really
yeah, like you're right. It does single out the importance of the individual.
Yeah, and it all builds into a group. But like, you could be that guy that's like, oh, well, I never want to play by myself in front of everybody. But guess what? If one person fucks up, it's very easy to hear it, right? And we can tell when we record those separately. Try to line up, and Tim's like trying to line this shit up, and like, oh, but your strikes are early, but your grace notes are okay.
It's
but
like, yeah, you blew this.
I can move a left and I can move a right, and that's all I can do. You know what I mean? But now we can visually see that, like, all right, this person or whoever, it doesn't matter what it is, struggles with rhythm, and rhythm is everything. So important.
It's an interesting tool.
Yeah, it's a great learning experience, I think.
It's it's a definite. I mean, I hear professionals say you should record yourself during practice all the time, and doing these videos has actually taught me personally, because I have to record for these things too. And you know, you do it, you listen back, and you're like, crap. You don't hear the stuff that you're doing when you're doing it
In the moment, yeah.
when you listen. Yeah, you're concentrating on what note comes next, or on the next movement that you got to play that you always screw up on, and like, don't screw this up. And then you listen back and you're like, oh my God, I didn't know I was holding those notes so long and not cutting them the way I'm supposed to, or whatever.
Right. It's such a great learning experience.
I think everybody, but you mentioned something too, which is kind of funny, how nobody likes to play by themselves and get singled out in front of everybody. So there was a bit of that. So we have this OneDrive that goes to. I got several people like, I don't want to put my video up in front of everybody. So they would mail them to me individually. So a lot of bashful,
I get that.
people out there.
But here's my advice for those people. Nobody in a band's going to take the time to listen to you, I promise.
No.
Tim's going to listen to it because he has to, and that's it. Nobody's going to care.
Like, you're going to listen to it yourself.
But it's great motivation to, like, hey, man, go record this good, because maybe they're going to listen to it. They won't. But the risk is there. And that's great motivation.
Yeah, I think, like, the thing, you know,
or they're just
we've talked about
pussies
this,
and don't
like,
do it.
when it comes to recording yourself and submitting it, how many times do you record it before you submit it?
That's the practice. That gets you reps, and that's what's important.
And I think reps are always good. You know, you have to be your own worst critic always. And for fuck's sake, dude, don't just try to edge by. Make sure you're uplifting the group as a whole.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Like, if you're part of a team, which every band is a team, rock band, pipe band, it doesn't matter. You're all part of the same team, and you're only as strong as the weakest link. Just don't be that fucking person.
Can you stop that for a second?
Right, exactly.
Is that you playing the thing? Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's my final thought, is just don't be that weakest link. If you're afraid of recording yourself, it's because you're afraid of people hearing you. If you're afraid of people hearing you, it's because you're afraid of the fact that you haven't done enough work at home. And that's an easy fix. Just fucking practice, bro.
Let's do the work.
Yeah.
And on that note,
Fusco has shit his pants yet again.
hey, Tim. Can I say something?
Yep.
Too? Tim, go fuck yourself.
You go fuck yourself.
Tim, I miss you, buddy. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for everyone who tuned in for the live stream. And I'm very excited. See y'all soon, and I'm gonna go ahead and play this out.